two of the heavy hitters. Craig, the silver sniper Waddingham, taking on the magician, that is Chris Melling. Should be an absolute belter. A race to 14 between these two. Sign me up. 2 sessions. We're going to see 13 frames in the first session and to a finish in the second. It's all about trying to get yourself in position here. Back tomorrow morning. In fact, they are scheduled for midday tomorrow for the conclusion. Tony Holgate joins me for this match and should be a belter, Tone.
Absolutely. I agree. Tie of the round. Craig Waddingham, Chris Melling. Toe to toe. 13 frames of pool. Hold on tight, it's going to be a fast ride.
Red and yellow together, top of the table. Obvious problem to solve. The rest is there for him.
I'm not sure he meant to leave himself about there. I think he was trying to come a little bit further and be able to play the yellow straight into the left-hand centre, get the cue ball up the top of the table and kick that red and yellow apart. Yellow must cut into the right centre, just squeezes past that red. Now he's going to kick yellow and red apart up the top. No, he's not.
Didn't get the bite, didn't get the side. He's holding up his hand, so that tells us he's happy. Has he got the angle to clip this in and do it again? Directly this time?
Yeah, I think he has. This still could go wrong. If he hits the cushion and then the yellow, he could end up stuck behind the red. Oh, it's come out perfect. Apart from, you can't get behind that red without contacting it, I don't think so.
I think he's on, you know, I think he can.
Do you think he can just squeeze behind it?
I think he can find a 2-cushion line here. Bit of right-hand side.
Oh, he can.
But he snookered himself.
That's the red I meant.
That's the red you were. Yeah. That's why you shouldn't get annoyed when your opponent gets a little touch like he did to land on the angle to break out again. Wait till the end of the frame. Worked out in Chris's favour this, as long as Craig doesn't make this from the snooker, because he's opened up the reds as well. And he's going to get ball in hand for the magician, the defending champion.
Has come past 𝗠𝗁𝗃𝗄𝗆 early this evening.
Yeah, he did, and it was all done in the first session, really. The work was done, 9-3, his advantage through 12 frames when they had their mid-session interval. He's not quite been at the races this year in ultimate pool terms as Chris, but you just knew this was the sort of event where he was going to find his feet. Just a deep match allows him time to get into it and get the feel, get the touch. And once you give Chris 10 frames out there, he's got the rhythm going, and you just know he's going to play a level.
Nice control there on the table.
He's just rolled a little bit further than he wanted. Straight in would have been better.
Yeah, he's okay.
And moving the cue ball around though.
Not sure he was playing to land there on that red, but he'll take it.
Just loosening up here in the opener. Melling gets the opening frame on the board. It's the battle of the silver snipers, isn't it? These days.
Don't go and tell him that.
I'll
Just let him off.
I'll let you tell him. It's been a while since he won the last Ultimate Pool title, almost a year. So he's due. At this stage, the quarterfinals, before a ball was hit in the quarterfinals, even though he wasn't the highest ranked player, do you have him as the marginal favourite?
Right now?
Right now?
Right now, I have John McAllister as the favourite.
Yeah.
That's for me. I think he looked very smooth this evening, but I will say, Shaun Storey will be very pleased to be only 7-6 down.
Very Shaun Storey performance, that just
Yeah.
to hang tough and scrap away and keep yourself in a match. Great match player, Shaun Storey.
Exactly, because at 7-3 to John McAllister, you're thinking, well, you could open up a big lead here going into tomorrow, but Shaun Storey had other ideas and did battle hard right at the end, and that finished 7-6 in the favour of John McAllister, but all to play for tomorrow in that. That will be for all these quarterfinals. Ian Alley does have a lead against Phil Harrison. We saw that earlier this evening. That was the first quarterfinal. We have one more to go after this. Aaron Davis taking on France's Christophe Lambert.
Two yellows at the top of the table need some attention. What's the plan here? Chris has more vision in this game than just about any player in history. What's he got for us?
That's where he wants to go into them, but from where?
Yeah, not an obvious ball, is there? Doesn't want to be straight, and I think he is. Is there something happening in the crowd? Something happening behind him? It's just caught his attention. Clock's running. Something's happening out there. But it looks like he's landed too straight. He was looking to be three-quarter ball here, and he's not. So he's got a problem.
Yeah, I think it's somebody just probably enjoying themselves a little bit too much. They don't realise how loud they are sometimes when they're actually stood in the arena.
Fortunately, we know it wasn't you on this occasion.
No, not this time.
You'd certainly be accused of enjoying yourself too much from time to time.
Not for sure. Well, I think he's going to have to go in actually from here now, playing with a load of right-hand side and sort of squeeze the cue ball into the rail. It connects the first yellow, cue ball goes forward and tries to push the other one into the corner.
Pop the other one over the top right and pop one into the top left.
Loads of right spin. There you go, look at that. Like that.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it? You could see him lining up that from the start, and we're thinking that's where he wants to go in on the cannon on the breakout. But he had that shot in his mind from ball one. And he is just incredible with the vision on this game. He was even annoyed that he had left himself a touch straight and not the angle to come down better on this ball. So he needs to cue 2 good ones in. Oh, came right across it. I actually thought he might roll through and take it up to the top left, because coming back he was always going to just get a wider angle on the 8 ball, whereas he rolled through he would be straight in, and with the red where it is, it maybe was playing big. Not quite close enough to be playing big, but could have played it off it to help if he saw it that way. But what a shame that great shot has not been rewarded from Chris.
So 1 mistake each. Could be 1 frame each.
Craig's still got to put this one away though. That 8 ball and the one at the bottom, they just don't connect very well.
I think you go down to the one at the bottom first.
I think it would have been a better option. Did he have enough angle? And would have had to really force it. He could have done it, I suppose.
I'd have had a go, I think, because I'd rather have this as my last ball to get on the black.
Yeah. Doesn't want to be straight. If he's straight, he's going to have a very tough 8 ball.
That's quite nice there, actually. You can actually, if you really wanted to, play to move this, play it right hand side and come into that rail and just flick it off.
A player as good as Craig on the potting side of the game would be shocked if he tried to move it. Another 2 rolls for perfection. He's still very good, isn't he?
Yep.
Still very, very good on this 8. And then it falls. The punishment is there for Chris Melling's mistake. And it is 1-1. That was a very, very good shot from Chris, but not rewarded in terms of making the mistake on the next, well, the tough pot following. But such vision. You've been around the game a long time, Tony. Have you ever seen anyone with the sort of the level of artistry, which that really is to me, as Chris?
No, it's quite simple. You see shots that other players don't see. You know, the level of imagination is incredible. But then he plays more exhibitions than anybody else. So he does play a lot of, you know, shots with side and things like that, and just he's getting out of snookers and potting balls is incredible. Yeah. I mean, he's the best in the game by a mile.
He sees his patterns. Oh, I was going to straighten off. He sees his patterns and his ways around the table different than other players, you know, other top players. But there's definitely there's a level of genius in the way he sees the 8-ball pool. It really is. He's a great cueist and has been at a variety of different games, but 8-ball pool is where he really has. He's just a natural instincts in the game.
Bottom of the table with this nice angle to come up. This frame is over. Chris Melling goes 2-1 up.
Right.
Quick, smart style. glass of water. That's a very focused look from Chris. Will be the man from Yorkshire to break off.
Frame 4, Chris Melling to break. Doing 2 frames to 1.
Yep, dry, can't believe it. He cannot believe that break is dry. Yellow hanging right over that corner. Craig, well, it's going to be yellows, that's for sure.
Yellow balls in play.
A bit straight on this yellow up into the top left. So good positional shot required here for Craig Waddingham. Wait, can he get through the gap of those 2 reds and play that yellow at the bottom of the table? I think he can. If he can pop this in, then play the one in the middle, yellow down the rail, and he'll leave himself in the gap of the other 2 reds and play the 8 ball in the bottom right.
Use the red. Very nice.
And that does make life a lot easier by nudging that out of the way. So drop in, cue ball just slightly forwards. And this will be 2 all. And this courtesy of Chris Melling's dry break. Turn the favour. In goes the 8. Craig Waddingham levels the match.
Interesting early jousting between these two.
Yeah.
I feel like we're, not that it's been a bad standard by any stretch, but I just feel like we're just treading water, waiting for it to really catch life, and just feel like there's going to be something in this.
Yeah, it's more like a Viennese waltz.
Yeah.
That they're sharing at the moment.
Yes, of course. That's exactly what I was thinking. But you just get the sense that we're building to something special.
Frame 5, Chris Waddingham to break. 2 frames.
Well, my turn to dry break, says Craig Waddingham, as Melling gets out of his chair.
The yellows are the shout here. Yellow on the left-hand side. I'm not sure if it passes the yellow nearest the pocket. If it does, that helps.
It helps an awful lot.
Yeah, I think all the yellows actually have a natural home. Connections aren't terrible.
Yellow balls in place.
It has to pass. He wouldn't have let it this late to address.
So with this shot here, Tony, would you purposely try and bump the red below the 8-ball just to make it easier? There we go, just like that. I was thinking if he goes past it, you could just have a slight issue getting on the 8-ball. Chris never misses a trick.
I just watched him there because that red was moving. It stopped, by the way.
Yeah.
But we had that scene the other night when he played a shot and the yellow hadn't stopped moving, he bumped out. And that cost him dearly. Well, he's still in the tournament, but at the time,
well, it was getting tense and tight, wasn't it? It was building up.
Yeah.
He was a crew killer, as we talked about earlier on. Yeah, last match of the night, he was on the brink for a while. Jimmy Croxton, all credit to him, fighting back. And in the end, it was Chris Melling that got over the line. He's had a really tense couple of matches, actually. The Carl Sutton match, which we didn't see on the TV table, went all the way to a deciding frame. And by all accounts, I haven't seen it, but all accounts, the finish that Chris Melling took out in the deciding frame was something very special. I believe somebody's actually filmed it on their phone, and that's flying around social media. I haven't seen it yet. I'm looking forward to catching up with that later.
And what's this? This was earlier today?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Something very special from Chris, and he's turned
I think
to direct drive.
he was describing it. I think he had something like 5 balls on the cushion.
Yeah.
And the ball was left on over the bag, and he's took out this ridiculous finish, apparently. But I only heard it because, well, Chris told me.
So 5 frames done. 8 still to go. Who's going to forge the lead? That will be loss of turn. It was open table, but you can't play one colour to pot another. He was obviously trying to pot the yellow direct, but because he flicked the red, it will be loss of turn.
And handed the table to Chris Melling, who can still take the yellows as well.
Yeah, remained an open table as well. Slightly odd one, that. Sometimes it just looks a little bit strange. It looks like a foul, it isn't. Some people think that's fine, and some people think it's a foul. It's neither. It's just a loss of turn. You just turn the table over to your opponent.
A little bit of a study going on for Chris.
Yellow balls in place.
Just having a cue ball clean there. Bit of flotsam on it. 𝗪𝗏𝗪𝗏𝗍𝗏, our referee, gets the job done. So yellow must go into the top right. Brings the cue ball into the rail and back out again. Nicely done. He'll be playing down the rail now. Chris will be playing the cut now into the right-hand centre. Yellow just goes past the 8-ball into there. Whether yellow will be in the other centre. Black back in the other centre, I would have thought.
Great recovery shot, that one. Very good.
Middle pocket Melling. In goes the 8 ball. Chris Melling now gets 2 in front of Craig Waddingham. Because of Craig's misdemeanor, trying to pot that opening yellow and just clipping the red first, so loss of turn, and that's all the opportunity that Chris Melling needed.
The Women's Masters is still ticking along nicely. The #1 player has won twice. 𝗪𝗁𝗀 Davies 5-1 victory of Emma Parker and 𝗪𝗁𝗀 Shepherd. Very good first day's work for Kirsty Lee. Try from Craig again. Needs to find some rhythm on the break.
Yeah, it's not been good thus far on the Waddingham break, which is unusual, so it's normally a pretty steady one. Chris is going to be cutting this red into the bottom left. Cue ball will be clattering into a few yellows here.
Red ball's in play.
He tried a more controlled shot there, but he's bumped to yellow now in front of the red that's near that left-hand middle. Still goes in the top corner. I'm not sure he can get through, you know, to the red at the top. Wow.
Surely the thin clip to top left is easier than this.
I think so.
Oh, Chris.
Maybe not.
It doesn't matter.
Maybe
does it?
that's easier.
I mean, I know that was a tough shot to top left, but that was a ridiculous shot to top right. Chris Melling doing Chris Melling things. Back in prime position. If he was a foot away from that, it would be one thing. But being close to it, trying to pick out that angle, digging down on it, brilliant.
Too far. I think he's okay.
Yeah, go to the corner first. He might have been thinking the other way around originally.
Can he use the yellow just to sit the cue ball on?
Ooh, Chris just threw one in there. Just too much on the near jaw. I was just thinking how good an out that was from where he was.
I was as well.
And he threw that. That was not an easy shot, by the way. Slightly hampered cueing and sort of punching it in. But you just expect brilliance from Chris, don't you, at all times? And it feels like a bad miss. Chris will feel like it's a bad miss. It wasn't that easy. Just as a moment when he's starting to build up a little bit of momentum there. That was for 5-2 and the next break. Doesn't really want to be flat on the cushion, and he's not. Well, he is flat on the cushion, but the yellows are half a ball off, so he's got enough angle to get out here. There's not too much of a bother.
So this last yellow for Craig Waddingham has to do nothing with the cue ball except just stop it. Probably just drop this in very slowly. In it goes. Drop it a bit further than he would have liked. He'd have liked to have that straight, but it should be no problem for the Silver Sniper.
Oh, his reaction said he wasn't sure.
No, that wiped his feet. Yeah.
Yeah, we felt the same, Craig. Little cheeky glance across at Chris Melling as well. That won't be lost on him, although he's not reacting right now.
Refusing to look at him.
Yeah.
Staring at the table. It's him to break next.
I think that's one of those situations, and Chris is mentally incredibly strong. He does like to share an opinion or two, but when he sat in his chair, he's very, very good. I think in that situation, if that was a break clearance and Craig did that, you'll see a little something from Chris.
Yeah.
But Chris knows he missed his chance in that frame, so that's that frame gone, isn't it? He doesn't consider it unlucky because Craig had one that wobbled and fell in or anything like that. It was on him.
Oh, in off the break. Just look at the split as well.
Now he's having a chat with Craig.
The white's got in here clapping, mate. There's no need for that.
No, he's not talking to Craig. He's talking to somebody in the crowd. Somebody is giving him some stick out there. I think that was what the issue was earlier on.
Red ball's in play.
There you go. Referee team are having a word with a few people there. Not happy. He's been playing on the Challenger Series as well. See whatever he's doing out there. Chris isn't taking it too kindly.
Craig there was expecting to rub into that yellow, not the black ball. And now he's going to have to play the red into the centre. This isn't a friendly shot for Craig. Will be able to stop the cue ball from going too far at the table, so he's giving himself a little bit of work. Well,
This
there was
is
a
tough.
thin cut in the middle.
Got the cut, not got the cue ball.
So, where does Craig go from here? I think he's going to have to come off the side rail and come back towards the red that's nearest that bottom left-hand corner. Oh, that's
very
such a good shot.
Oh, it's going to fall.
What a shot that was.
Brilliant. Acknowledged from Chris as well. Very special, that one from Craig. Frame over. That doesn't fall. Well, he's going to challenge himself with the 8 ball here. Why not?
Absolutely.
Why not? He obviously felt he couldn't get to the top cushion to go top cushion, side cushion. Felt the yellow was in the way, so he obviously wasn't trying to leave it on the cushion. He was hoping to be a few balls lower than this, but this is what he's left. Got to deal with it.
Great finish.
Right in the heart of the pocket. And not surprised to see Chris leave the arena. Craig does get some very loyal support, but I think the point that Chris is making and was making out there is that, you know, he doesn't want to see them cheering him doing something bad. He wants to see them cheer Craig on for doing something good.
Yeah, absolutely right as well.
He makes a very good point there. Craig's very mentally strong. Other people can actually get put off by that themselves if they see their opponent getting rattled because of the people supporting you, but Craig is not one of those. It was a big shot from Craig that won the frame rope, though put himself in trouble. Brilliant shot. I can tell you that Stephen Jameson in the studio watching on has given that a nod of approval. Getting to watch that one on replay.
Thank you, frame 9.
No higher praise in the game, Tony.
4 frames over.
Well, if it's okay by JMO, it's okay by me. And that's probably Craig's best break of the evening. Would have preferred the cue ball off that top rail, but he has a ball to go at.
In outcome terms, he didn't have much to go at in terms of he keeps breaking dry. Anytime he's made a ball, has to be better. He's made a ball and he's got a chance. Actually, the layout's not bad. Problem being the 8 ball, but he's got a decent ball to deal with it.
Red ball's in play.
Needs to be clever with how and when he deals with it. But the red to left centre, slightly high, you go into the yellow, which goes into the 8 ball, or the one below the 8 ball. Timing, you feel, is the key. It's difficult to know when the right time to go into it is. You don't want to cause yourself a headache. Looks like now's the time. The yellow in the middle there above the triangle area actually plays quite big here. Plays big here.
Done this again.
Yeah. He was worried about the red on the left-hand side with the 8 ball. Where's that going? And he was trying to sort of be on both balls, and that's why that yellow was just looking big. This is trickier than the last one, though. The last one was an easy hit, and it was just a case of could you get the potting angle, although it was thin, which made it tough, but this one's really tough. Gets the hit, not the pot.
It's a good effort, you know.
Yeah. When it hit the top cushion, I thought, oh, we're close here, but just knocked the line. Has blocked off that yellow to bottom corner. So work for Chris. A couple of yellows need a lot of attention here. The one on the left-hand side above the red isn't ideal either. It's a big play if he takes this on here. This isn't a sitter. But now that's out the way. Solves one of the problems. Do you think the other one can go off the rail, off the red? It looks like the red's a little close to make that.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, I don't.
I think I'd rather come down and play the double if I've got to do anything down there. Because if you are going to play that shot, if you're behind that yellow, you want to play it firm to sort of bring the cue ball back up as well for the black. So the harder you play that shot, the more chance it has of not going in.
Got an angle to go towards it now. There we go. Made it worse, not better.
This is the thing, without trying to move that.
Loss of turn coming up then. Easy enough to get the snooker. How good a snooker will it be? Might have left the thinnest of edges, but that's Chris won't worry about the thin edge. It's can Craig kick it towards a pocket? If he gets solid contact here, he's not necessarily going to leave an easy easy yellow on. And he hasn't. That's not a bad shot at all. That's asking a big question to Chris. He's going to have to find, maybe he plays another safety cue ball top right-hand corner.
Yeah, exactly what he's going to do. Distance. And always hit that very thin.
Yeah, I think he's taken a slight risk there, because if he plays it thick, he gets the cue ball right into the top right-hand corner, but he wanted to play it thinner so that he gets the yellow over a pocket, so that wherever Craig leaves the ball, he's going to have a shot on. So there was more in that shot than it looked for Chris.
Craig's looking at coming off the back rail here and hitting the red towards that yellow up in the top left. If he gets this right, he could pot it.
He hasn't, and he's left the yellow on. So it's there for Chris to go and win the frame now. Only thing you all say is obviously his starter's the top left, and that connects to the yellow. But the yellow isn't necessarily going to make it easy to get nicely onto the 8 ball. The ball's okay.
Or behind the knuckle? No, surely not.
No, he's fine. He's quite straight on this, so he won't get good on the 8 ball, you don't think. Unless he can really force this out. There's a tiniest bit of angle, but not much.
Nicely played.
The tiniest bit, forced out without really overhitting it. That was very good.
In goes the 8 ball. Chris Melling now 5-4 to the good.
9 frames played. 4 more to go. 13 frames. We've been playing 12 frames all weekend up until this point. But at the quarterfinals, of course, we're raced to 14, not 13. One more match still to come tonight as well. And we'll see Christophe Lambert, who knocked out the number 2 seed, Declan Brennan. He is taking on Aaron Davies, who's in the hunt for another title. He is Cyborg. Looking forward to that. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 10 AM. Ian Alley, Phil Harrison continue. We'll see all the quarterfinals finish tomorrow morning. Get a chance to dip into the ladies' event as well before coming back to the semi-finals.
That was a bit more of a meaty break there from Chris, but no ball. He goes and parks himself back in his chair. Everything careering round the table, but nothing going into a pocket. And Craig Waddingham, great chance here for 5 each. Not the connection that Craig Waddingham wanted on that red. He's hit it half board. He wanted to hit it full in the face and stay on that yellow at the top.
He's had a
big head shakes there.
He's had a tough session with his cue ball. It's not going to reach it. Yeah, he's just not been absolutely tip-top in this session. The cue ball's been just a little bit loose, and he's caused himself headaches in a number of frames. At his best, there's a few chances that Craig would have put away.
He's having a little talk to himself there. This is now the opportunity, Chris Melling, to go 2 in front.
We saw the referee indicate that the red near the left centre pocket is on the rail. Chris tried to move it there, so that is a really bad ball. It's as bad a position as you can have a ball on the table, really. And he hasn't landed on anything other than the one over bottom left. Head scratcher for the magician.
Well, he's got to play the ball over the bag at the bottom. That's the only way he can continue. And like you say, that red has to be moved. It will only double, I think, into the bottom corner. Won't be happy.
No, you just got the sense the whole visit he never had it, did he? He never had that visit. Chris has got so many weapons, so much skill, so much vision, and he just didn't get that first shot right, and it just sent him down a path he couldn't recover from. I don't see many visits to the table like that for Chris Melling.
There has been errors in this match, though, you know, that you wouldn't expect from both of them. See, this could be funny as well. Like, he's cushed up, he's got to play the yellow into the centre, but it's where the cue ball goes, and he's digging down because he doesn't want to run into the black ball and that red. Played that well. On the cush again, though, for Craig.
Yeah, it's just continuing of struggling with his cue ball, isn't he? Just in the story of the match for him. Won't stop him winning the frame, though.
No, 5 each.
5 each. 3 to play tonight. One of these two players will take a lead. It's just how big a lead will it be, 7-6 or 8-5?
It's all a bit laboured.
We've had a good score in the women's game. There's been a bit of a shock result. Amy Beecham, who's battling it out for the number one very much in her sights for the end of the weekend. In fact, it's a fabulous battle for the #1 ranking. Marion Jude, Amy Beecham, And of course, 𝗘𝘃𝗲𝗿 Davies, who holds the spot right now, are all going to be battling out who's going to end the weekend as the #1. All started well. Amy won her first match 5-0 against Sophie Gibbs-Nichols. She has lost her second match to Lauren Proctor, 5 frames to 2. It is group stages. She's still very much in the hunt to make it through to the main event, but could well be doing it from second place in the group, which could throw some cat amongst pigeons with the draw. All to find out and play for tomorrow. Looking forward to keeping an eye on that. But that is the storyline from the women's series, the Women's Masters, is who will win the title and who will be the #1. And it's a very, very good battle, I can tell you. There is about a match between them all. It's amazing setup right now.
Yeah, the women's pros absolutely intriguing to see how it all unfolds this season. And also next, some really good players coming through in that sector of the game. Meanwhile, Craig Waddingham trying to get his nose in front. 𝗍𝗃𝗲, that's where he wants to get. He wants to get the cue ball down past the red and the black and just leave himself the red into the right-hand centre. If he does that, frame should be his. Not too far.
Yeah, once again, just not on point with the cue ball. Just, there's a few rolls here and there. Working harder at the back end once again. Natural path of the cue ball on this shot is not a good one.
Now it'd be heading towards that yellow at the top of the table. Maybe slightly to the left of it. It's going to be bridging over a little bit. He's going to play it off the yellow, and I did look at that and I thought they probably won't. Well, didn't call it. And, well, it's certainly a better shot. Gives him great chance to get on the 8-ball from here. He's gone for the double as well. There's some fancy stuff here from Craig at the end.
Yeah, certainly was. He'll be pleased he's got a lead here. Worst case scenario for Craig Waddingham is he's going to be 7-6 behind, but he will have hopes of a lot more than that. 2 more frames to come. Chris Melling trails by 1. He'll have the next break. Craig will break in the final frame of the match. It's almost as though the early jousting here, that there's obviously a huge amount of respect between these two, but neither player has been fully able to catch fire and play their absolute best. Just a mistake here or there, just keeping each other interested.
Thank you. Frame 12. Chris Melling to break. Trailing 6 frames to 5.
Absolute crunching break there from Melling this time. 3 reds gone. Yellows will be the colour. Or will they?
I think the yellow passes the red to bottom right, and that's the only one that would even give you any thought. I mean, I suppose if you could get right behind the red on the right-hand side first shot, as in if he's got enough angle on this red, you'd be out there as well. But I can't see why you wouldn't go yellows.
I think he has a bit of an angle. I think he could get...
But then you'd be on the red to bottom right to get on the 8-ball, which I don't really like. Whereas yellows, you just got more room to manoeuvre, haven't you? I wish you could all see the face that Tony Holgate is pulling right now. Not convinced is the basher. Like grimace there from Chris. He wanted to be straight in on this yellow he's nearest to, because that would have got him fairly straight on the yellow to right centre, the one on the cushion, and then the one that's in the middle at the top of the table was his connection to the 8 ball. So a reset required here. Beautiful shot.
Yeah, that was handy. Well, in goes the black. Chris Melling now levels the match. Once again, we've got one more frame to go. It's 6 all.
It's 6 all, yeah. One more frame. Big frame. It may only be worth 1, but whoever wins this frame will sleep on a lead. It may not be much in a race to 14, because you're only at the halfway mark, but it would be nice. One more match still to come for us here on the TV table as well. Final quarter-final. Aaron Davies and Christophe Lambert are waiting in the wings to come out and entertain us late on a Saturday night. Made a ball, made a couple, and the layout is very good. Very, very, very good. Chalk this one up, Tony.
Shall I?
Yeah. Reds rolled in. The connections are just so good. I mean, I'm never a fan of giving them the frame before they've got them, but the natural connections here are just begging to be rolled in, quite literally. Hit that one a lot further than I thought he would. Doesn't really matter.
Yep, solid stuff from Craig. All courtesy of that huge break.
His break got stronger as the match has gone on. If you try early on, it's got better and better. And this 8 ball to sleep on a lead. And in it goes. The Silver Sniper wins the session against the Silver Magician. 7 frames to 6. He'll come back tomorrow at midday and try and complete the job, but a long, long way to go. You've got to feel this match is brewing and building to something special. You won't want to miss it tomorrow lunchtime.
This match is as even as it could possibly be after an odd number of frames. It's Craig who has the 1 frame advantage, 7-6, as Chris Melling breaks off in quarter-final number 3. Decent first break from Chris, and he will get first go. At this stage in last year's tournament is when we really saw the very best of Chris Melling. I think back to how he won his quarter-final against Jack Whelan last year, one of the most special finishes we've ever seen on Ultimate Pool. A finish Chris himself described as his best ever in English 8-ball. And he just levelled up on that final day to play some truly awe-inspiring stuff. beat Craig Waddingham in the semi-final of that event. But you get the sense, we're just looking at how everyone's playing this morning, he's going to need to do that today, Simon Webb.
Absolutely. That was a truly memorable finish and performance, winning the Masters last year. It was an interesting first session, commentating on it. It was almost a kind of, you're expecting absolute fireworks. It was a very high quality standard, but both had more in the locker. And you kind of expect this one to just build to something very special here. Chris looks like he's starting off in a very quick fire mood. He's Chris Melling at his best. Once the work's done, he does not hang about, pops them in, and we're all square. Both players need 4. Craig Waddingham will have been expecting that this morning. He knows Chris Melling's going to come out firing. He knows he's going to have to play his level, and he knows he's going to need to take 7 chances. Craig's one of those players. He doesn't care who he's playing. It's the same game, same ball, same table. Just needs, in his own mind, 7 chances, and that's always the way that Chris Melling talks about it. 8 chances was what he's looking for this morning. There's 1, and 1 taken.
7 frames off.
Ooh, cue ball. It's going to stay in the jaws, which is actually to Craig Waddingham's advantage. Not for just the fact that he doesn't scratch, but also he's broken dry. So Chris Melling's going to have to play from that corner pocket without too much for him to be excited about.
Extension called.
Not too much to go at. Pull out the double. If he's on this red to the corner, all of a sudden this layout looks very different. I think he is. He's looking at options after it, so he definitely is. Now, he played that with his break cue as well. That's why he's smiling to himself. So he played the first 2 shots in this visit with his break cue.
He's the sort of guy, though, who could probably play out there with a broom handle on his level, wouldn't drop too much.
Yeah, he has chopped and changed cues a lot over the first 5 years with Ultimate Pool. Won 3 tournaments with 3 different cues in a stretch in around 2022. And this one's done. Chris knows that. Craig knows that. And very shortly, we will all know that as well. This is what makes Chris so quick. Takes his time, gets the work, makes the decision. First 2 shots, he used his 30 and his extension, and then it's pop, 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 frame over. And he never looks like he's rushing.
It's that economy of sort of movement, isn't it? He's very, very clever with how he plans his finishes out to get the hard work done. On a finish like that, I mean, he's capable of taking out any finish just about, which sometimes requires a little bit more thought. But on a finish like that, he's so good at getting the first couple out of the way. His pattern play is exceptional. Sort of gets underrated, I think, because of the way that he tends to play. He can be a bit of a maverick. You tend to think of the mad finishes rather than the clinical finishes when you think of Chris Melling. But his ability to see the game is as good as anybody else that's ever played.
I agree. He's got the vision he's got is just off the charts. His patterns are different to some of the other greats, but his patterns are brilliant. There's a level of genius to the way he goes about this game. Didn't quite get the cue ball right with the break there, but he's made a ball, and he's got an opportunity to start with 3 straight visits here. Yellow by the 8 ball. Just needs a bit of attention, but you've got the yellow over the left centre that makes it not a problem. If that yellow wasn't there, we'd be talking about it in very different terms. That's okay. Could have been better, but not by much. If the 8 ball stayed a ball higher, it would have been easier. I mean, it really isn't a challenge. This is so good already. This is so good.
Just a joy to watch. It really is. Craig Waddingham hasn't touched the table this morning. We've got no idea how well he's playing. We've got a little bit of a clue as to how well Chris is. Chris looks razor sharp. 3 on the spin in no time at all. He entered this morning 1 frame behind. He's now 2 in front.
And quickly as well, very quickly. Yeah, we talk about patterns and differences between certain players. You know, compare Chris Melling to a Mick Hill, who for me probably has the best patterns I've ever seen. He plays the patterns in a way where he's looking for that position that makes it unmissable for anybody that can hold a cue. You know, the kind of just dropping them in, rolling them in, stun shot. Chris plays his patterns, you know, and you require an element of execution to the way he sees the game, but they match his game, and it's so entertaining to watch.
Fantastic break from Craig. You can't believe that's dry. Tough place to be if you're Craig Waddingham and you're breaking like that and not even getting a sniff at the table. Absolutely deserved a ball. Controlled his cue ball perfectly, just has to keep doing that. The one slight positive for Craig is he's definitely not left anything easy. There is work here for Chris Melling.
He's been working a couple of his finishes so far. And
yeah, there's no guarantee Craig's going to get to the table, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, made it look very easy.
Really pumped that in. Almost popped out.
Yeah, the red at the bottom of the table does go short side, so he can take it bottom right, I think. If not, he could play it off the yellow, so I don't think he needs to move it. It's about getting down to the bottom left-hand part of the table, and because of the proximity of the 8 ball to it, would suggest that is going to be his last ball. The plan is for it to be his last ball. But he's not happy here because he's landed straight. He needed an angle just to pop out. A little bit of reverse side, it's not going to land. He's short. Craig might get to the table here. Chris ball's back.
Yeah, sensible decision. He's not going to chase anything, not going to give it away.
Oh, hello. Great shot. This was brilliant. Amazing cut, brilliant development shot. He could have come out so much kinder for him. Deserved a little bit better, such as the quality, but from where he was, he would take the position he's in right now. The fact that you could get the gap makes that a completely different problem at the bottom of the table, because you can unpick it rather than having to develop it. It's just a little awkward on the next ball though. So. Yesterday, Craig wasn't on it from his cue ball perspective. He made some great outs, but he was always fighting his cue ball control. Not as normally on point as it normally is. Maybe a touch of that there as well. Though very difficult to say. His first visit to the table and under scoreboard pressure as well.
Extension call.
It's so
Shot.
good. So good. Using the yellow. Couldn't hold. No way of holding there. You saw him come up and work it out. Got the contact on the yellow exactly as he wanted to. Oh, he didn't want the bump though. Very fortunate.
Got away with that.
He thought he was missing the bump and he was just going to go 2 cushions and land on the 8 ball to right centre. A little fortunate with the greys there.
Nothing fortunate about the pot, which was clean. 10-7. Chris Melling has won the first 4 frames of this second session. It's a rapid start from the Magician. There is a little bit of a conference call going on between himself and Craig Waddingham. The two get along pretty well. There's a lot of respect out there. No animosity at all.
Chris was getting frustrated last night with some of the support that Craig was getting. Not that he's against Craig getting support, but just that he felt that they were kind of being negative on him rather than supporting Craig, which is absolutely fine.
There's no animosity towards Craig for that, is the point
exactly,
to make. Yeah. Different feel this morning. Oh, what a break.
Yeah, is there going to be a ball, though? Is there going to be a ball? No. Right. Now's the time, Craig.
Yeah, it's such a tough school. That break from Chris is so difficult to execute. That's such a difficult technique that very few other players even try to do. And when you hit it that well, get the cue ball that safe, you can't be blamed for sitting back in your chair going, how am I sat here when I've just broken that well?
Yeah.
But that's the game we play.
The bane of all pool players, though, the dry break.
Extension call.
Every pool player in the tournament will have hit a great break and come up dry. Most will have hit a bad break and made a ball as well, and you don't tend to remember those ones. Just got to take it on the chin when it comes along. Wait your turn.
given the context of this match, it is just about a must-get visit for Craig Waddingham here. It's not quite, don't get it, go 11-7 down and you're out. But it feels not that far off.
It feels it because of the mood that Chris is in right now.
Yeah.
That yellow in the middle of the table, that's awkward. I'm not sure that even goes to right centre, and he's not on it anyway. So it must, the way he played that, it must go. But he didn't get there. That was quite a small target he was looking for.
Yeah, really tough shot. He's still on the yellow to bottom left, but this is getting harder. Chris has put Craig bang under it here. He's going bottom right. No, tucking up. What's he left? Not loads. I don't think Chris has a clean pot on. Don't think he can get to the one that sort of looks obvious for the left centre. Just to the northwest of the break, the triangle line. Don't think you can see the potting angle there. The only sort of obvious pot he has is maybe a plant involving that red, but that is serious high tariff. No surprise to see his extension call to work this one out. Pretty good safety all told by Craig Waddingham. Is he playing the plant? Of course he is. Why wouldn't you when you're Chris Melling?
Hanging over the pocket, isn't it? Wow, what a shot.
There's no safe spot on the table when Chris is in this kind of mood. Jack Whelan felt the full force of that last year. So did Craig Waddingham in the semi-final. He's fizzing. Watch this. That is so good.
I asked Tony last night at the start of the quarterfinals who he fancied as the favourite at this point, who would be his favourite.
Mentioned that in the last match.
And he said John McAllister. I think even though John's now in the semi, I'm going to mark your card at Chris Melling. He's turned up here. It's best he's played all year. Defending champion. He is in the mood to take this one down.
It's safe to say he fancies it. That's a perfect positional shot. It's just glorious. Not sure there's anyone better to watch than Chris Melling in full flight. And make no mistake, he is in full flight this morning at the Masters.
He certainly is. Breathtaking form. We saw Phil Harrison come in this morning.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah, excuse me, coffee caught my throat. Yeah, we saw Phil Harrison come in a similar sort of mood this morning, and then he missed one shot, and it just seemed to turn. He didn't go off the boil completely, but it just seemed to turn the momentum a little bit, and the advantage that Ian had by coming in 3 in front was huge. Now, the advantage here for Craig was only 1 frame, but he has to hope that something similar happens, that he needs a little bit of help from Chris, and then he needs the opportunities. But he does need to raise his level. There's 2 chances gone for Craig, which, as high tariff as they were, they're chances that Chris is taking out on the other side. Important he gets these. Another roll maybe would have been better. It looks like he's got just a turn too much angle. This is good. This is good from Craig. Needed this. And he's certainly going to get there now.
Badly needed it. Badly needed that. 11-8, back within 3.
It's one of those situations where you can kind of be frustrated if you're Craig. He won't be. He's mentally very strong. But you can look at it and go, you know, Chris has come out like a train, but he'll always look at his own side of the table, and that was his third opportunity this morning and the first one he's taken, so he knows he's got to raise it.
Frame 20. Chris Melling to break. Leading 11 frames to 8.
20th frame begins, courtesy of our referee 𝗨𝗽𝗱𝗵𝗘. Well, if Craig is to get himself back into it, he's going to need help off Chris Melling's break. This isn't what I'd describe as help.
We should also just mention the farcical pace we're going at here. We're about to hit the 8-minute mark for the session, and we've had this is frame 7. That's an utterly ridiculous pace.
Well, yeah, but did you expect anything less? I'm not sure I did.
When the last match was on, I popped out to the tournament director's table, and Chris was talking about pace of play, and we were referring back to a couple of matches. He mentioned a couple in Blackpool where he won very quickly, one against 𝗠𝗶𝘀𝗵, one against 𝗨𝗽𝗱𝗍𝗍, and then I mentioned the 7-0 victory he had in Louisiana. What's remarkable about that, it was 14 minutes for 7-0, just under. First frame lasted 4.5 minutes. Quite incredible the pace he can play at when he gets going. We've got a good angle here to track the one at the top of the table. Doesn't really want to finish straight. Yeah, you can see where he's pointing. Somewhere on the break line, just a roll above. Absolutely perfect then, natural. Maybe a ball more angle than he put his cue at. If we're being picky, looks perfect though. Yeah, I mean, he was perfect. Yeah, just to where he pointed his cue.
Who can top this? No one can live with this.
The winner of this match will play Aaron Davies or Christophe Lambert, who I'm sure are probably keeping half an eye on this match just because they'll be in the building getting themselves ready. They can't watch this and worry about what might come. They have to focus on what they've got to do. But right now we've got a runaway train out there in the arena.
21. We want to get to break. 12 frames to 8.
Chris Melling is 2 from home. Craig Waddingham is 4 behind. Needs to be a pretty incredible turnaround from Craig. He is capable. Oh.
Leave it.
Wow. Yeah. Wowie. And Craig there just pointed to the spot on the top cushion where he hit his cue ball. Watch his cue here. He just comes down and points to where he hit this cue ball. He's like, what can I do there?
Just the tiniest trace of side hits the cushion and just turns it on that line. But that is right in the window of where you're trying to get it. That was a very pure strike. Very difficult on the layout.
But you can't believe that not a single ball has got in the way of it on that incredibly narrow line to the middle pocket.
He'll be there a while trying to do it again, that's for sure. And then you sit in your chair and you look at the table and you think, well, even if there's balls on cushions and clusters, you just think Chris is in the mood, he's going to take it out. And you look at the table and think, well, there is not a problem on the table. It's just, I mean, I'm assuming the 8-ball drops in without an issue, and the rest are just begging to be rolled in. Craig might have played his last shot in this match. It's a very real possibility.
Yeah, Chris Melling is in the matrix right now. He is a joy to watch on this form. He's a joy to watch whenever he plays, but when he's on this form, you stop whatever you're doing and you watch him.
It's the reason why he gets more exhibitions than any other player in the game by a huge margin. It's because he has this in the locker. Just incredible.
13-8. The Magician 108 in next to no time. He started this session less than 15 minutes ago on the match clock. 7-6 down. He's 1 from home.
13 minutes and 3 seconds of play. And we've had 8 frames, and he's won 6 of them. No, sorry, 7 frames, and he's won 6 of them.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous pace, ridiculous level. That finish was routine for him. That was, you expect any professional in the game to get it, but they've been, some of these have been tough. He's made the tough look easy.
By 13 frames to 8.
He's spearing that break. That for me is maybe the most ominous sign of everything, how well he's playing that break shot. His cue ball's coming up straight in a line every single time he's hit it this morning. And it's the purest example that you can find of how well a player is timing and cueing the ball. He's cueing it straight down the middle and he's timing it perfectly.
And the only hope Craig Waddingham had was the ball he was closest to not going. And now that he's made that, look at the layout. Just look at this layout.
You could make a point in a meritocratic way that a break that good deserves finishes like this. Balls don't work in such arbitrary ways. There is an element of the random which makes this game always interesting to watch. Chris hasn't played his greatest shot there.
Missed time one. The first shot he just rolled further than he wanted. I'm pretty sure he wanted to be straight in right centre to get on the one to top right, and then he had to play the one top right there and was trying to be very delicate about it and just got his line wrong. Only by the smallest of margins. Doesn't matter though, does it?
How's your recovery, Pop? Pretty good.
Get this done in under the 15 mark or right on the 15-minute mark. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
There isn't anybody quite like Chris Melling. That was sensational. Craig Waddingham eliminated for the 2nd year in a row in the Ultimate Pool Masters by Chris Melling. He entered this morning, 15 minutes of pool play ago, 7-6 down, and he is through 14 frames to 8. That was special.